Hi, my name's Ryan Guterman, CEO and co-founder at FaradaIC Sensors. And what we do is make gas sensors small to enable a new generation of gas sensing IoT devices ranging from wearables to food monitors. And we're doing this with our first product, Faraday OX, the world's smallest oxygen gas sensor ever made.
Can you tell me a bit more about how this technology came about?
It came about through a combination of my personal background and that of my CTO and co-founder, Alexei Yakushenko. I come from a background in fundamental synthetic chemistry and material science, and my co-founder from a background in sensors and semiconductors. These two fields very rarely meet, but that's exactly what needed to happen in order to create our product. My co-founder, Alexei, identified that innovations in fundamental synthetic chemistry were needed in order to create the type of sensors that we're building, and that's where he met me. And we combined our expertise together, and that's how we can create our product.
Amazing. And you know, we've been in constant sort of conversation. So I understand sort of the problems that these sensors would solve. But from what I know, a common problem that I see in the market is that many founders, especially the ones with an academic background, the ones with sort of spend a lot of years in research, they understand what they do, but often are quite unsure about what is needed in the market. What's your experience in this space?
Well, I think that's actually how scientists are often trained, because discovery and building new technology can be insulated from the market. And in some cases, actually, it should be in order to create really novel technologies and foster ideas that aren't influenced by market forces. But the moment that you transition from academia, which is all about that kind of discovery, into a startup, you are now driven by market forces. And that's definitely a different philosophy. It's a different way of thinking. And the challenge is to take all one's expertise that they built in academia and building technology, but now focus it to commercialization and marketability.
Tell me more a bit about your path into entrepreneurship from academia.
Well, I feel like actually I got into academia first from entrepreneurship because I was raised in a family of business people, really small family businesses. My grandfather was, one grandfather was a carpenter with his own business, the other one was a mechanic. And so everyone in my family never got a paycheck their whole lives. And so they earned basically through business. And since growing up in this family, it became quite natural for me to understand those types of interactions and how to actually build a small company. But this, from there, I actually went into academia and learned how to be a scientist and figure out, how to make discoveries and work in the fields of chemistry. And coming into the startup, it feels like I'm coming back to something that I've always known, just on a much grander, larger scale. The interactions are very much similar. It's about making money. It's about working with clients and building a business.
And what would you say is one piece of advice you would have for, deep tech founders?
Well, one exercise actually I would really recommend is to try and give a presentation about your company without mentioning technology. I think every deep tech founder should attempt doing that, because if they find that they can't do it, then it means they haven't developed their business expertise to a sufficient level to understand what is it that they're trying to do as a company. And what they're trying to do is to become profitable. And when you give a presentation to, say, a customer or an investor, the technology is just the means to get there. But what really matters is how you do it and what milestones you set and who are your customers, and really to speak to those customers who will teach you what you actually need to do with your technology. So that's my piece of advice.
Amazing. I think that's a practice that people can probably also revisit over time.
Absolutely.
And refine as they progress as a startup. Well, thank you so much, Ryan. It's a pleasure to be here once again, and all the best.
Thank you. Appreciate it.